Hi everyone, I'm Dawn. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for visiting with me today. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel. We do all kinds of things here on the cutting board. It's very late. We do true crime, SFX makeup, DIY crafts, food related content, hauls, vlogs, and Disney content. I have a lot of interest and I want to share them with you. So, yeah. In this video, I want to talk a bit about Luigi Mangione, the 26-year-old man charged with the unaliving of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. So I'm taking this information from news reports that I've been reading tonight, and I am not claiming to be breaking any new information. I just want to share it here if that's okay. So Luigi was born and raised in Maryland, where he attended a Baltimore prep school, and he graduated as the valedictorian in 2016. And I think it's also interesting to mention here that Brian Thompson also graduated his high school as a valedictorian. He earned his undergraduate and graduate degrees, sorry, I had an itch, in computer science from the University of Pennsylvania in 2020, where he also worked as a teaching assistant. His family is wealthy. He comes from a very rich family. His grandfather, Nick Mangione Sr., a U.S. Navy veteran, was a real estate developer and philanthropist, and he founded Lorien Health Services. So his cousin is Maryland State Legislator Nino Mangione. I hope if I'm pronouncing that wrong, I apologize. Luigi has no arrest history prior to this. But anyway, he was arrested while eating at a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania, after a McDonald's employee recognized him. That McDonald's employee is being referred to as a class traitor on social media. Luigi was found with $10,000, a passport, false identification, and a 3D printed gun and silencer, which is primarily produced with a 3D printer. I watched a documentary about this there. It's actually interesting. It's also known as a ghost gun, and it's a weapon that can be assembled from parts without a serial number so that it cannot be traced. And the gun is believed to be the one used in the shooting. Police also found a 3-page document with writings that expressed that Luigi had ill will towards corporate America. Gee, you think? And I know a ton of people were rooting for this young man. I know that. But I wonder now that they know he's from a wealthy family, does that shift attitudes? I don't think it should shift those attitudes because wealth, it doesn't automatically mean he's out of touch. It doesn't automatically mean that he's evil. Clearly he had the wherewithal to know corporate America is diabolical. Being wealthy isn't what makes someone evil. Becoming wealthy off of denying health benefit claims for thousands of people every year, raising premiums and giving yourself hefty raises and bonuses while continuing to deny claims for average Americans who are paying for that service that are sick and dying while they wait and wait and wait. That's evil. It is. Some people have spoken out against the lack of sympathy for Brian Thompson. Feeling that the outrage is misdirected and that many of us are being cold-hearted. Well, the NYPD commissioner said in a press briefing, a family is mourning. Personally, I think that statement from her is what's cold-hearted. That's cold-hearted. It kind of reminded me of in Handmaid's Tale, after Fred Waterford was unalived by June and all the handmaids, and they made this big deal about his funeral, not even considering for a second all the horrible things they had done to people and how many people were in mourning because of the loved ones they lost because of, the creation of Gilead. I'm just saying, kind of a similar feeling, really is. I'm just saying. Anyway, so I thought that statement from her was cold-hearted because thousands, not one family, thousands of families have been in mourning because of the greed of this guy, using AI to deny claims with a 90% error rate. People in need of health care don't always have time to appeal and appeal and appeal and wait for the insurance company to pull their head out of their butt. And we shouldn't have to do that for a product that we're paying, I know I'm doing a lot of this, that we're paying a lot of money for. Insurance companies are taking your money, your premiums, they're investing it, they're making money off of that money, and when you need it for medical care, no, F you and your illness. Papa needs a brand new yacht. That's what it's like. And, to the NYPD and actually every police force out there, if you could maybe put that much effort into solving crimes against, everybody, not just rich guys, that would be really great. That would be stupendous. Maybe work harder, finding missing children and, do something about those pesky sex offenders. Can you put effort into that too? I also want to point out real quick that Brian Thompson's widow, Paulette, she said that there had been death threats, and she allegedly said that she suspected it was because of lack of coverage. No. I doubt it was lack of coverage. The threats were more than likely made, and they were coming from people denied lack of benefits that they are in fact covered for. Not lack of coverage. Not lack of coverage. I know that's a small detail, probably doesn't feel worth mentioning it, but I feel like pointing it out. And something in the range of 70,000 Americans die needlessly every year so that insurance executives can become multimillionaires. Not the customer service person who answers the phone, but the executives above them. Healthcare should not be a capitalist endeavor. It just shouldn't. I said it in my last video about this, and I'll say it again. What health insurance companies are doing is systemic violence, and it is evil. Luigi's exact reasonings are not known, but, I wonder if, assuming we found out why, and the reasoning, will the reasoning change people's view of him depending on what it is? Right now, he's Robin Hood. But will that view of him change if what you think is the reason isn't the reason? I hope that makes sense. It's late. I'm recording this at 2:30 in the morning. Actually, it's almost 3. I feel like the powers that be are going to say and do whatever they can to try to make people, turn against Luigi, turn against him, spin different narratives about him, whatever it takes, because they don't want protesters flooding the streets of New York, cheering him on. They don't want that. And they also absolutely do not want a huge portion of America united. That certainly won't help them. They don't want that at all. We are weaker when we are divided, so they want to keep us that way. And that's exactly what they want. They want us sick, and they want us weak, and they want us divided. Anyway, pay attention, America. This whole thing might be a lot bigger, and they might use it as a way to Soylent Green us, if you know what I'm talking about. So we will talk more about this in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to everyone later. Bye.